Welcome to the next episode of YouTube, where we have a very slow transition of spring. And by slow, I mean the pond water, which was draining last week, with temperatures again below zero this week, has frozen. So the wolves have a skating rink to investigate. Denali and Aiden again remain pretty calm. Still seeing some issues of guarding with wolf care staff, and Aiden really seeking a lot of attention and needing to be with wolf care staff and interact. And you'll see Denali coming up to the wolf care staff and Aiden coming right over and actually joining the camera there for a moment. But so that's been a little challenging. Certainly challenging for wolf care staff to walk and maneuver, but again, always a risk when you have glare ice for animals that would slip and fall in some kind of a social engagement or in a chasing behavior. So we're happy that things are calm, and they are sleeping a little bit closer together. And at the end of the YouTube, we have a video or a still image that shows them sleeping in the dens together. But again, wolf care staff are trying to manage spending enough time. Right now, the priority is to spend the most time we can with Grizzer. That leaves these two younger ones with, obviously everybody still gets daily care, but not probably as much time as they would during this transition. And as we said, they had a lot of mournful howls as well, and certainly had a lot of separation anxiety from Maya. And so we're trying to balance that. We are increasing the amount of visits, and also making sure that when someone is in with these two, that we try to have someone who either feeds Grizz or kind of distracts them. The other things that we know is that the greeting rock is getting used quite a bit more, and that's usually a good sign. That's a relaxing place for them to be. So you may see them on the webcam on that front greeting rock, which is where Denali is here. And that's usually an indication that things are calming down, staying more towards the front of the exhibit and not spending so much time towards the back. So that's been good, and as we hope the weather warms, we can see some enclosure changes. We can be getting some of this old straw out and getting some new wood chips in, and getting the pond filled so that they can actually use it, other than, as you can see here, there's not much we can do with it. It's frozen solid. And again, we have to wait till the thaw comes out. The frost comes out of the ground so that drain thaws, and then we can wash it and refill it and give them some other stimuli. So that's been about it for the main pack. And we do notice less howling from Aiden, continued howling with Denali towards Grizzer. Again, those two probably had a more stronger social bond, if you recall. Even with the testing that Denali did, the reality of those were short-lived tests, and those were not something that Denali won any tests. As a matter of fact, when we took Grizzer out, Grizzer was still probably in a view for Denali of more of a dominant relationship. But as we said, we took him out because we didn't want anything to continue. What we do see in retirement that's been a little bit interesting, Shadow's been off a little bit on food, not willing to take meds, and we see Malik really taking advantage of that. And so we know when Malik gets his immobilization for his abscessed tooth, and we try to get that squared away, we're going to immobilize Shadow as well and try to get a good blood panel on him. The other thing we've noticed is there's been a lot more water consumption lately, and so we want to make sure that there isn't any underlying condition. But when Malik starts taking advantage of Shadow, again, Shadow's a dominant wolf, so he will posture towards him, but we definitely see something is a little bit off, and as we see those two interact, we're always mindful they're 11, so even though they seem young and spry, 11-year-old animals, you can start to see some decline issues. So we'll be watching that, and we'll obviously watch things like frequency of urination, kidney function, things like diabetes. But here you can see Shadow with his deer head, and he's again possessing it a little bit and going into a howling. So we'll let you listen to that. know it's probably stimulated by Grizzer. The balancing act is trying to figure out, how much time each individual wolf needs, and there is some competition. Correlations for Grizzer's howling has really been when wolf care leave his enclosure and to go to another enclosure, and that's when we start to see a lot of that howling, or when wolf care staff are not staffed at a higher hourly, say one day we're not here as often as we would normally be. So this clip is Grizzer again howling. You'll notice the focus is back towards the retired pack. He's right at the gate that joins that enclosure. As soon as the ground thaws, we'll be starting the groundbreaking and work to be getting a new habitat for Grizzer, and hopefully that will give him a little space separation there. And we still obviously are discussing what we're going to do as far as his his future living conditions. And here you see Aiden again doing a stiff leg jump in the pond, trying to stimulate a little bouncing of the ice to try to see what moves. Aiden and Denali are sleeping a little bit closer to each other, which is a good sign that social engagement is occurring. And Shadow and Malik communicating in various ways, and Grizzer, even though his pen is small, he does have some good cover. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.